Hey, what's up? This is Jeff from BKJ Mag TV, and this is episode 15 of the BKJ Mag Experience podcast. So, thank you for tuning in. Okay, so this episode is about Sylvester Stallone. So, everybody knows Sylvester Stallone. He was the main protagonist, basically actor in the Rocky series. He actually was he played the underdog fighter who basically fought to win the world boxing champion against Apollo Creed. In later years, he reprised this role in the last Rocky movie and basically retired, and later on he appeared in the Apollo Creed series, basically mentoring and training Apollo Creed's young son Adonis, and who actually ends up becoming the world boxing champion in his own right. So Sylvester Stallone, that's the introduction of Sylvester Stallone. He also made one of my favorite movies, Demolition Man. That was a good movie. Just wanted to throw that out there. Anyhow, let's get back to it. So this article talks about Sylvester Stallone and the pro wrestlers that helped forge his personality. Let me tell you, Sylvester Stallone is an avid wrestling fan. He loves wrestling. He loves watching it. And basically he said that wrestling helped forge his identity and who he is as a person. So let's get into the article by Miss Olivia Quinlan. All right. It states, Sylvester Stallone is one of the biggest movie stars of all time and has now discussed how wrestling has helped shape who he is. Basically, he states in the article, there's a passion for the world, big time. Stallone told Sports Illustrated, people like Bruno Sammartino, those are the people that help forge my personality and my outlook on life. Bruno, Gorgeous George, bodybuilder actor Steve Reeves, boxer Rocky Marciano, especially Rocky Marciano. I love wrestling's mythic qualities. I made my daughters watch wrestling. I wanted them to watch for the story. Basically, he states that the story is very entertaining. Is why he watches it, and is why he's allowed his daughters and his sons to watch wrestling. It's because the story is just that compelling. So basically, he feeds off the story of what wrestling produces out there, and he ingrinds it into his scripts in Hollywood. So yes, and then Bruno Sammartino, everybody knows him. He was one of the longest reigning WWF champions in history. So the fact that he was that good in the ring and that somebody was watching him and basically listening to how good he was on the mic, must have really impressed Sylvester Stallone so well that he added it into his personality. And Gorgeous George, we could never forget about Gorgeous George. There's a reason why they called him Gorgeous George. This guy was a ring technician, great wrestler, very full of personalities. Why he called him, and very handsome. Not gonna hold you, handsome dude. That's why they call him Gorgeous George. And Rocky Marciano, the ultimate underdog in boxing. Never gave up, always kept fighting, never took a beating that he didn't get back up from. So it's one of the qualities that Sylvester Stallone exhibited throughout the whole Rocky series and in life. You never give up when the chips are down. You always keep on fighting until the light hits your direction and basically opens doors for you. He continued on to say that wrestling is about stories, entertainment, and drama rather than just about scores. I hear people say it's not real. He says, I'm going to read that again. He says, I hear people say it's not real. A lot of people call wrestling fake. This is for all the haters out there that think wrestling is fake. He says, really? Gravity is real. Jumping off the top rope or having 300 pounds landing on you, that's real. So I'm going to tell you it again. Gravity is real. Jumping off the top rope or having 300 pounds landing on you, that's real. That's real impact. That's wrestlers hitting you on your body. That's as real as it gets. Jumping off that top rope takes a lot of skill. It's no fake. So people who use the word fake needs to really check themselves. And that's what Sylvester Stallone is saying here. He states, I feel the same way about action films. They've been submerged in sort of a dismissive sort of genre. Like, oh, it's an action film. All I know is I've had maybe 31 operations due to action films. So I consider it very real. So basically, the same people, same so-called fans, general public who try to disregard wrestling as being fake, they try to do it they try to talk about trying to keep that same energy towards action films and basically try to dismiss it. And, Stallone ain't having it. Man had 31 operations throughout his acting career because of all the pain and suffering that he endured on set. When you get hurt, you get hurt. It doesn't matter. You're filming in front of a camera. You get hurt. You're in different elements out there while you're filming, and eventually you're gonna get hurt when you do your own stunts. It's action movies. So people shouldn't really be dismissive and try to dismiss action films as not being real. Just like wrestling. Wrestling is real. Action films are real, and that's why I support it. Stallone's connections to the wrestling world. Stallone made an appearance on WCW programming in 1993 to promote his movie Demolition Man. Like I said earlier, was one of my favorite movies, as well as an episode of Raw in 2006 to promote another one of his movies, Rocky Balboa. Not my so-called favorite Rocky, but it was okay. He also inducted Hulk Hogan into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2005. I'm not a big fan of Hulk Hogan. He wrote, directed, and starred in the 1978 movie Paradise Alley as one of those three brothers who became involved in wrestling in the 1940s Hell Kitchen. The movie also featured Terry Funk, Dory Funk Jr., Ted DiBiase, Haku, and Dick Murdoch. Mind you, he did this in 1978. He wrote, directed, and starred in the 1978 movie about wrestling in the 1940s in Hell's Kitchen. That's how much Sylvester Stallone loves wrestling. He wrote, directed, and starred in the movie that he wrote about wrestling. In Demolition Man, he had Jesse the Body Ventura work with him, and in the Suicide Squad, he had John Cena work with him. Honestly, wrestling, it really goes hand in hand when it comes to Sylvester Stallone. Stallone's new movie, Smithsonian, will be released on Amazon Prime on August 26th. The movie tells a story about a young boy who discovers that his neighbor may in fact be a superhero that has been missing for over the past 2 decades. But overall, from this well-written article, he talks about how wrestling really plays an impact in finding his identity and who he is as a person, as an actor, as a personality. Wrestling does that. Wrestling, when you see so many different characters, different personalities come out in front of you, the people watching it get entranced by it, and that's wrestling, and that's the effect on wrestling has on the average person. You don't know who's watching, and you know who may be influenced by this. You may not want to copy the moves, but they definitely the personalities may be embedded within them, and that's why they are who they are. The actors that turn into big time celebrities like Sylvester Stallone. It is what it is. Wrestling is not fake, and this is what it is. Stop saying wrestling is fake, because people can get inspired by this and basically make something out of themselves, just like Sylvester Stallone did. Well, thank you for listening to this episode 15 of the BKJ Mac Experience podcast. I appreciate y'all for listening. As always, let me know what y'all want to hear. I'm going to definitely talk about it. I'm definitely do it. All right. Peace, love, always. Thank you for listening. 1.